Manuel, what is going on? We are lagging like crazy right now, and I have no idea why. So how's everybody doing tonight? Hmm. How's it going, Bradley? Thank you for showing up, brother. I don't know why I am lagging so bad. All right, hopefully I am back and not lagging as bad. I'm not sure what's going on as to why this is lagging so badly today. Usually I don't have an issue with lag at all. Looks like we are getting in just in time before halftime. Or excuse me, not before halftime, but before the kickoffs. Hey, just want to say what's up. I got a couple of people that say what's up, Bradley and Terry. What's up, my man? Thank you guys for showing up. Why was the stream live supposed to start at 10 and it started at 11? I don't know. I couldn't tell you that one. Are you in Arizona or anything like that? All right, so it looks like the Niners are going to receive the ball to start the game, and we are away. All right, look like Idaho. You might be, depending on where you're at in Idaho, you might be in a different time zone. And why? All right, so here we go with Brock. Brock's now just coming up. Again, I'm on a stream with you guys. I'm actually on a decent stream. I'm watching it off of Paramount, so hopefully it's not so bad today. All right, so we got 1st and 10 coming up here for the Niners. All right, looks like we got 2 to the bottom with Juice. Juice in motion going to the backfield, and if we're going to fake it. Looks like Juice is open down the middle. Juice is wide open down the field. Looks like for about 20 yards or so. So we had Juice starting the game off with a 23-yard pass play. He was wide open just coming out of the backfield. Looks like number 5 was supposed to cover him and just did not even look at his way until he was right past him. So good start. You know, we were expecting this game to be snowy and everything, but they've got some, looks like decent weather. Juice in motion again. This time we're going to fake the handoff to him again. Looks like we're going to try and go to JJ, and we're just going to throw it away. Looks like we had JJ coming across the formation for, an underneath one, but just they had that one figured out something to get. Not doing too bad, my brother. How about yourself? Yeah, this is going to be prime time right now watching Myles Garrett and Trent Williams go at it. Let me finally switch over. Okay, there we go. That's what was missing. This wasn't enough. We got 2 up top. We're going to fake the handoff again. Looks like we're trying to set up another screen or something to CMC, and it's not going to get nowhere as it's been sneaked out by the Browns. We got maybe a half yard on that one. So it's like they knew what's going on with these plays so far. Take out this HDR. All right, so we got 3rd and 9 coming up for the Niners. Let's see what we can do. All right, so we've got 3 to the bottom, 1 up top, and one of those 3 is going to be Kittle down there. Brock in the shotgun. Back to pass. Decent pocket. He's looking. Just dumps it off to Kittle, who was not going to. He was about 10 yards short of the first down. So it looks like we got one good play on that drive, and that's all we got. Plus maybe another yard, if that, on that one by CMC. So, all right. So we got Garrett up top. It's going to be blocked by Trent and Kittle over there. Kittle's just going to take the release and go. And they've got it covered really good right now. All right, punt is off. They're going to be calling for a fair catch at about the 12 to 13 yard line. All right, let's see. So Shadur Sanders and the Browns will be coming out in just a second. While I keep trying to finish setting up this stuff. I don't know what the hell happened to my stuff this morning. We're just lagging. I couldn't even talk. And why is my stuff still not in this folder? What in the crap? I put my Be Right Back thing in the folder, and it is still not there. That's kind of annoying. So let's download that again for the 19,000th time. All right, so let's do that. Let's do this, record it. Capture, download. That needs to go into that folder. Yeah, I've got Kittle on my fantasy team as well. So I know. All right, let's see, screen share. Nope, not screen share. Cancel. Other image. Okay, so that's now that one's working again. Weird things going on right now. All right, so on that one, Freddie was 204 for 24 yards. It's showing Shadur has already thrown a pass, so apparently I'm still behind. Let's see about this. Let's see if the actual other app is actually ahead of this one. Okay, so all right, so we got 2nd and 3 by the Browns, and they are going to run it for about 5 or 6 to get the first down. Looks like the other stream is actually faster than the actual official stream on that one, which is kind of weird. And here's everybody talking about Shedeur Sanders. Honestly, I'll be perfectly honest, I don't think he's all that good, but that's just me. All right, so let's see how this works out here with the got Robinson in the middle. They've got 2 up top and 1 in the backfield with Shedeur. Shedur's going to hand it. It's going to be run up the middle, and he's only going to get about 2.5, 3 yards on that. I'm going to fix this HDR thing. And, of course, now it's frozen. All right, here we go. So we got 2nd and 8 up here for the Browns. 2 in the backfield, 1 making the trips up top. We're going to do a little swing out screen pass. The Niners have got it figured out. Can they actually get a tackle on him? No, he just kind of stumbles for about 4 or 5. So it looks like they're going to have about a 3rd and 3 coming up here. So good call out by the Niners on that one. Let's see. Display. I'm trying to fix my stuff here. All right, here we go. So they got trips to the bottom. 1 up top, 1 in the backfield with Shedeur. Yeah, 3rd and 5 actually on this one. Shadeur's back to pass. He's looking. He's going to go deep down the middle, and he overthrows the man who was wide open over Jair Brown by about 2 yards. Jair Brown coming off of in his career game. The career game and the NFC Defensive Player of the Year. Yeah, he was gone and he hit that. It is a windy day in Cleveland, so we'll see how some of these longer passes go. All right, so Sky Moore's back to the punt, gets in about the 19, gets up to about the 30. He's at the 40. He's at midfield. He's got probably the punter to beat. He's beating the punter. He's got a couple other guys. He's got down to about the 20. Sky Moore on a great punt return for the Niners. That's a couple of weeks in a row. He's gotten off some good ones. So Niners are going to take over at the 16-yard line after about a huge punt return by Sky Moore. All right, let me refresh this real quick, and hopefully this will fix the issue with the screen. I hope. All right, so now obviously the Niners have got the ball back. Pitch out to CMC. He's going to hit the corner. He's got some blocking out there, and he's going to get about 2 to 3 yards on that one. I feel if he had gone more towards the corner, he could have gotten more on it. So we'll have 2nd and 8 coming up for the Niners. Who's texting me right now? Excuse me. All right, we've got 2 to the bottom, 1 up top. Kittle in motion. Little handoff to CMC. CMC looking for a little trick plays, throwing it to the end zone to absolutely nobody. I do not like that call by that one right there. We got 3rd and 8 now, so it looks like I don't like that play. What's up, Pterodome? How you doing, brother? I'm not sure who that was, but it looks like they tackled him before we even threw the ball. All right, here we go. We got trips to the bottom. Brock's back to pass. Throwing it over the middle. CMC down to about the 2-yard line on that one. Nice throw and catch by them because we had some pressure coming to Brock over the middle. So we got first and goal. Just straight up the middle. All right, going to fake the handoff to CMC. Going to try and throw it over the middle, and he overthrows Luke Farrell, who was wide open in the end zone on that one. Yeah, Luke Farrell was wide open on that one. Whew. It just sailed over him. All right, here we go. Second and goal now for the Niners. And off to McCaffrey. Going to cut it back over the middle. Down to about the 1-yard line again. So we got third and goal. Still on the 2-yard line for the Niners. Come on, guys. We got to get some points on this. We definitely need points. With the return that we have by Sky Moore, we cannot waste this opportunity to get a touchdown. Whatever that noise is in Cleveland is annoying as shit. All right. So we got splits up top to the bottom. We got 2 in the backfield with Brock back there. CMC in motion, and we got a flag, or we call timeout. Someone call timeout. All right, so it's a timeout by the Niners. All right, so far we are looking at time of possession 4 minutes to 2:50 right now. So we're starting out pretty good on this. All right, here we go. Third and 1 once again for the Niners after the timeout. I'd go for it on 4th down. Fuck it. Now let's see if Kyle gets too fancy. Remember, we keep saying about this, Pterodome. We've talked about it many times. Keep it simple, stupid. Just run the ball. Don't get into fancy. We got 3 up top, CMC up the middle. CMC looked like, yep, he is in the end zone for the touchdowns. 49ers, first to get on the board with the 6th for Mr. McCaffrey. And if you got your CMC anytime touchdown, you just won your bet. Look at Brendel. Oh my God, look what happens when you do your job and get up onto that linebacker. We can score like that. Good job. Got to give it to Brendel. As much as I bitch and moan about him, he has played pretty decent over the last, 2 or 3 weeks compared to what he has in his career. All right, so that the field goal is good by Matt Gay. So Niners take the lead 7-0 here early in the first quarter, which should have been a terrible weather game, but it looks like it's pretty clear, but probably cold and windy. We will be right back. All right, and here we go with the kickoff from the Niners going to the Browns, obviously, after catching it. He picks up the ball at the 3-yard line, gets about to the 30, 31-yard line. I really got to get that, what you call it, taken care of. The light. All right, let's see what Shedeur Sanders and the Browns can do as they're starting their second drive here on the 30-yard line. All right, they've got 2 up top. Going to hand off going to the bottom. We missed a tackle in the backfield. Who was that? Is that Keon? All right, so we got 2nd and 3 coming up after we definitely had him in the backfield. We got it. Why do we not wrap up people? Yep, that was Keon White. All right, here we go. Let's see what we got for 2nd and 3 for the Brownies. They've got 2 on top, going to make it 3 after the motion. 1 in the backfield with Shedeur, and going to fake the handoff up the middle. Looking like we're going to set up a screen. We're going to be able to get it. Oh, Upton Stout with a missed tackle at what it was. They would have got the first down, but they wouldn't have gotten that extra 6 or 7 yards. Come on, Upton. You got to make that tackle, man. Like I said, they still would have gotten the first down, but still, you don't want to give up the extra 6 or 7 yards. All right, they got two to the bottom, 1 up top, going in motion, bottom to top, fake the handoff. Shedeur Sanders looking across the middle. They got the catch, and we tackle them after. It looks like he's got the first down. Looks like there's a tackle by Malik on the crosser on that one. And now they're going to a little bit of a hurry-up offense here by the Browns. All right, so we got two to the bottom stacked. All right, let's see what they got with the up-tempo offense. We're just going to hand it off, and they're going to get about a yard or so on that one for all of that drama. I guess that's what you call it, just all the drama. Start the drive. All right, so total yards right now, we got 53 for the Browns and 40 on the Niners. Don't forget the Niners did have the long punt return by Sky Moore to set up the touchdown. All right, Shedeur's back in the 2 in the bottom. We're going to fake the handoff. He's going to roll. He's got no pressure from the pocket at all, and he does not catch it out of the backfield. So we're going to have 3rd and 8 coming up for the Browns here. So we'll see if the Niners defense can step up once again. Good coverage by Mustafa going across the middle. All right, so we got trips to the bottom, 1 up top, Shedeur in the backfield. We're going to move on the trips to the top, so we got 2 and 2. Setting up a screen for the Browns, and he is going to he's going to lean forward for the first down for Jerome Ford on that one. We had to stop on him. We just couldn't get him to stop the lean forward part. If someone had come behind him and got a tackle, but nope. It's a great tackle by Mustafa. He just couldn't stop the forward momentum by Ford. Come on, guys. Yeah, they're definitely kicking our butts right now with the screen game. All right, 1 and 1, I formation. Now we're pushing up 2 up top. Take the pass, going to hand it off up the middle, and you're going to stack them up, and they're still going to push the pile forward for about 5 yards on first down. It's a good push forward by the Browns on that game. Is this the slime game for Nickelodeon today? Is that what's going on with this? All right, we got 2 and 2. I'm going to close this formation up top. We're going to hand it off up the middle. We're going to dance around, get about 2 or 3 more yards, bringing up about a 3rd and 3 here shortly for the Browns. All right, let's see what we can do. 2 to the bottom, 1 up top in a tight formation for the Browns. We have Alfred Collins right over center, basically. We're going to hand the ball off. He's going to be going, cutting back up towards the middle. Looks like a little short, bringing up to 4th and 1 right now. Browns will probably just go for it. I mean, why would you? All right, let's see what we can do here. Can we stop the Browns on 4th down? Again, 4th and 1 for the Brownies. They brought in a couple extra linemen on this one. They got number 72 in the backfield. And they do not get it. They stop him in the backfield. Great stop by the Niners defense. Good job, defensive line and everybody else, to make that big, huge stop on 4th down for that one. All right, we will be right down. All right, Niners taking back over on their 21-yard line. We got Kittle in motion, hand off to Brian Robinson, and he is going to get stuck behind the line of scrimmage by Harris. That is a big dude. So we got 2nd and 11 coming up. Who is not blocking anybody on this field? Nope, I thought they were showing the replay for the zone. All right, so we got 2nd and 11 for the Niners now. Let's see if we can move the ball a little bit. All right, we got 1 in motion. We're going to fake the throw, hand off to Robinson. Robinson gets about 4 yards, so we're going to get looks like a 3rd and 9 coming up here shortly for the Niners. I am not sure what is going on with this stupid camera. All right, let's see what else we can do. Let me try to do this again. Hopefully, my camera will come back up here shortly. All right, we got trips to the top for the Niners. See backfield. Purdy's back to pass. Pockets collapsing. Throwing a ball, and he got it caught. Was he inbounds? No. Bourne was not inbounds for that one. And that was out of bounds, caught by Kendrick Bourne. Nope. Yeah. We are not keeping the defense off the field a whole lot, though. All right, so we're giving the ball back to the Browns here. Morstead with the punt. Catch at about the 35-yard line, and he's going to get to about the 39-yard line. Looks like there's a little bit of fumble. Niners say we got it. Do we get the ball? Nope. Niner, looks like it was the Browns' ball. Looks like it might have been just loose for a few seconds. Oh, yeah. That was a loose ball. All right, we'll be right back once again. All right, we had a 1st and 10 for the Browns, and they got hit in the backfield by one Upton Stout. All right, so we got 2nd and 11 for the Browns. We've got two to the bottom, one up top. Shador back to pass. Pocket collapsing around him. Ball looks like it was a little tipped, and it still was caught for a first down. So 17-yard pickup for the Browns on what should have been a pass that was either, let's see. Man, we should have had that ball either picked off or it should have never went anywhere. All right, here we go again. They've got 1st and 10 at the Niners 41-yard line, looks like, or 46-4. Handoff up the middle. We can't tackle anybody, so we're going to get to the first down. He powered through about 6 tackles on that way. Why do we always do that shit? All right, that is the end of the first quarter. The Niners still up 7-1. We'll be right back after this. All right, let's see. We got the Browns are back. We got 2nd and 1. They're going to hand the ball right up the middle. We're going to get the first down. Mustafa hit him, and then he went for about 4 more yards as usual. It just this BS where we just can't tackle. Matthew Stafford not having a good day taking on the Panthers, who are without J.C. Horn, who suffered a concussion, taking on the Niners. All right, we got 1st and 10 for the Brownies on the 32-yard line of the Niners. They got one man up top, going to hand the ball. Nope, fake the handoff. Shador's looking around, and he is going to he dumps it off, and Njoku gets tackled for a gain of nothing. So we're going to have 2nd and 10 here for the Brownies in just a second. All right, here we go. 2nd and 10 for the Browns coming up. They got trips up top, one to the bottom. Shador is back to pass. Got a pretty clean pocket. It's starting to collapse now. They're chasing Shador. He's throwing the ball, and it is caught out of bounds. So 3rd and 10 coming up for the Browns here in a second. All right, here we go. We got 3rd and 10 coming up for the Browns now. Come on, defense. Let's stop this. Let's hold them here and get the ball back. All right, we got trips up top. Gonna pass it. Looks like we got a little screen thing going. We got a flag down on the field. Let's see what this is in just a second. So we're calling an illegal shift on the Browns. What are we going to do here? Were we taking the penalty, or we're just going to? All right, so we're going to beat 3rd down and make it 3rd and 15 for the Browns. Looks like linebacker Nick Martin is being evaluated for concussion, so we don't know if he is coming back or not. All right, again, 3rd and 15. We've got 2 to the bottom, 2 up top, with 1 in the backfield. With Shador's in the shotgun. Fan was in motion. Shador's got a pocket. Shador is flushed out the bottom. We got about 3 Niners on him to take the sack. Cleveland Farrell with the sack. Good rush by the Niners D-line there. All right, punt team is on for the Browns. Going to be punting from about the 31-yard line and is up. Moore is just going to let it. I was worried that was going to turn around and bounce back towards them. But it goes into the end zone, so it'll be coming up to the 20-yard line. We will be right back after commercial. All right, the Niners are back on offense. We got first and 10 coming up here from the 20-yard line. Got Ricky in motion, who has not done a whole lot today. If anything, we're going to swing it out to Ricky. Ricky gets the ball and gets about a yard. So Ricky Pearsall with his first catch of the day, and his first catch goes for a yard. Ricky Pearsall, we're kind of hoping that he's going to get something going here shortly, and just isn't. All right, 2nd and 9 coming up here for the Niners. We got Ricky in motion once again, making it trips up top. Fake the handoff to CMC, who's blocking. Now we're going to throw the ball to Mr. Kittle with the first catch of the game. Goes for about 15 yards or so. First down, Niners. Oh. It's a quick little out route by Kittle on that for a nice one. Just ducked under a tackle. All right, here we go. We got 2 up top, 1 to the bottom. That bottom one's going up top. We're going to hand it off to Demarcus Robinson, who's on the jet sweep, and we're going to get about 5 or 6 yards on that one. So call it 2nd and 4 coming up for the Niners. Or 4 after 6. Sorry, my math was backwards on that one. All right, here we go with Kittle again. We've got 2nd and 4 with the Niners. We're going to hand it off to CMC. CMC's going to cut up the middle. He's going to get the first down plus another yard or so. So first down, Niners. A good gain of 6 on that one. I'm not sure what that's supposed to be. All right, 1st and 10 for the Niners here. CMC is in a single back. Juice coming back there. We're going to hand off to CMC and go up the middle and get about 2 to 3 yards. So let's call it 2nd and 8 coming up for the Niners. Excuse me. And CMC is definitely going to go for 1,000 this week. No doubt about that. All right, so again, this is going to be 2nd and 8 coming up for the Niners. We've got 3 up top. Nope, Kittle's going to go down to the bottom. Pockets collapsing around Purdy. Purdy throws the ball, and it gets to Kittle. Kittle's going to be about a yard short. But there's also a flag down. Let's see what the flag is. Holding downfield on Juice, apparently. So we will take that ball. We're going to move it forward a little bit more forward for the first down. And Jenkins seems extremely pissed off with Kyle Juszczyk right now. Basically just pushed him to the ground. I think there's a little bit of acting by Juice, but good job, Juice. All right, here we go. 1st and 10 for the Niners on the 46-yard line. Juice in motion to the backfield. Handoff to B. Robinson up the middle, who's going to grind out about 3 yards or so. So we'll call it a 2nd and 7 coming up for the Niners. You know, looking at this game, especially with the weather reports that we were seeing, it was looking really bad. This was going to be like a 0 visibility game. We know the winds are pretty bad right now in there. You can tell by some of the passes and the kicks. But we were expecting it to be like pouring rain, snowing for days, kind of one of those kind of blistery, wintry weather type days. And It looks like just a regular cold, windy day in Cleveland. All right, so we've got trips to the bottom with CMC's probably going to go in motion and make it doubles. Yep. And we're going to do the toss out to CMC's. Juice has got the lead block, and we are going nowhere, getting caught behind it. All right, so a loss of 3 yards. So now we're going to go back to 3rd and 10 after getting 3 on the first down. CMC might have gotten somewhere had he kept going outside, but I don't think he could have made the corner on that one. All right, so 3rd and 10 for the Niners. Oh, excuse me. Brock back to pass. He's looking. He's got a pretty good pocket. He's going to throw it off to Kittle. Kittle's going to be short of the first down by about 5 yards or so on that one. So we'll have 4th and 5 coming up for the 4th and 5 coming up for the Niners. Let's see. We're on about the 40-yard line. Go for the field goal. Go for the field goal on that one. Nope, looks like they're punting it. Actually, I'm talking about punting or going to a field goal when there's a terrible windy day. Good call to go for the punt. We'll see if we can pin them and then get something going on the next drive. So we got Morstead out the punt. He's got the punt, and the punt is up and away. And it looks like fair catch is caught at about the 10-yard line by the Browns. So good field position punt by Morstead and the punt return team, or the punt team. All right, so we'll be right back. 6:21 left to go in the first half. 7-0 still for the Niners. All right, after Niners punt, we've got 1st and 10 from the 10-yard lines for the Browns. So we'll see what they can do, get going. Again, we got 6:10 left to go in this first. Judkins with a nice nice run up the middle, and we let him drag us for a few more yards after contact for about 8. So 2nd and 2. and showing the Browns handing out turkeys and food for Thanksgiving. Love to see that in the entire NFL community that does that. 2nd and 2, Shador hands off. They are going to get the ball to the first down line. I'm new to talking. Excuse me here. All right, here we go. Got 2 tight ends at the bottom. One in motion going up top. Single back deep. Going to hand it off. He's going to get the ball. He's going to get the corner. Of course, we miss a tackle. And we're going to push him out of bounds for a gain of about 6 or 7. So let's call it 2nd and 3 coming up here for our defense. It's looking okay, but man, we are missing a lot of tackles. I mean, right now they haven't done much on offense for the Browns, but we could be so much better with some of the amount of tackles that we have missed today has been pretty sad, honestly. All right, here we go. We got one up top, one to the bottom. Toss it out there. Going to do a little razzle-dazzle. We're going to throw it. Nope. Up there, Jair Brown, of course, not being able to make a tackle. Jair Brown diving for nothing over there. So Bond's got the first down for the Browns, and they're moving the ball here. About 5 minutes left to go in the first half. All right, so we got 1st and 10 for the Brownies here. They've got trips set down to the bottom, one up top. Got motion going up top. Gonna hand it off. Nice big old hole, and he's gonna get about 6 or 7 on that one. So we'll go 2nd and 4th. And looks like Curtis Robinson is down. Curtis Robinson down on the field. All right, we'll be right back as they go to commercial with Curtis Robinson down on the field. All right, so it looks like Curtis Robinson is up and moving. Jalen Graham, who's brought up off the practice squad today, is going to be probably playing at least for a play or two. So we'll see what we can do here. 1st and 10 for the Browns here. Or 2nd and 3rd, I'm sorry. Sacking the big old hole in the middle. Getting the 1st down for the Browns on that one now. Oops. All right, here we go. This is 1st and 10. Handoff, going to go end around. We had a hand on him, but we let him get away. And we're going to, looks like, 1st down, 2nd and 1. So we'll see how it goes. Like I said, we had a hand on him at the line of scrimmage by somebody, but then we just didn't get anywhere with it. All right, we are here at the 2-minute warning finally. This game seems like it's going on forever. So the Niners still winning 7-0. Here we go. We'll be right back. I guess I didn't unmute myself. Curtis Robinson is back on the field. That's good to see. All right, we got 1st and 10 here for the Browns on about the 35-yard line of the 49ers. Got 2 to the bottom, 1 up top. Gonna hand the ball off, and he's gonna get about a yard. Stopped there by looks like Nick Martin. Or no, that was Bryce Huff. Sorry. All right, so we got about a minute and 10 left in this first half. All right, so we have 2nd and 9 coming up here for the Browns. All right, 2nd and 9, 45 seconds left to go in this second quarter. Shador's going across the middle. He's got a man open, and that is Harold Fannin, who's going to get in the end zone for bullying his way in. Harold Fannin Jr. was tight end out of Bowling Green that a lot of us wanted on the Niners. Let's see what happens here. Oh, why did... Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Why is he even out there in coverage? Gifford, you were terrible in coverage. Oh, now we got 12 players on the field for the Niners. So now they're going to fucking go for 2. Crap. Gifford is just such a terrible, terrible coverage linebacker. So Shador's on the sideline, so it looks like they're going to go for 2 again out of a Wildcat formation. All right, Brown's going for 2 here. He's going to run the ball up the middle. He gets stopped. Oh, they're going to call him in. It looked like he got stopped. That sure looked like he got stopped, but they're calling him in. Let's see the replay. And if he got across, that was barely by the skin of his chinny chin chin kind of bullshit. All right, we'll see if they try to overturn this or anything, because I could see it getting in, but man, it's going to be tough to overturn it, but I don't know. I want to see a sideways view of that. We'll be back. Well, it looks like they're going to hold up the 2 point conversion. Like I said, I would still like to see a side view of that. So they're kicking off. 49ers are going to have 39 seconds left to see if we can do something. And they're going to kick the ball out of the back of the end zone. So we'll see what we get. Has not been a good enough offensive game for the Niners. I understand we are going against the Browns, but come on, guys. We have had plenty of chances. All right, let's see if we get anything out of this. First down for the Niners. We got trips to the bottom, one up top. All right, throwing it. Brock's throwing. He's going. He is overthrowing Jennings on that one. First time we've heard Juwan Jennings' name even looked at for this game so far. Come on, guys. Let's do something before the end of the quarter, right? These guys are going to get the ball back to start the second half. All right, 2nd and 10, 33 seconds left for the 49ers to do something in this second quarter. All right, 2 to the bottom. Jennings going to do a slight little motion. Brock's back to pass. Pockets collapsing around him. He throws the ball away. We had CMC in the area, but let's be honest, that really wasn't going anywhere. All right. We got 3rd and 10 for the Niners. We've got 27 seconds left to go in the first half. Purdy is back to pass. Pocket starting to collapse a little bit. Purdy gets the ball off, going to Pearsall with his first big play of the game for about 15 yards and getting out of bounds. So we got 1st and 10, 21 seconds left. Looks like we are about the 40-ish yard line or so. All right, here we go. We got 1st and 10 for the Niners. Once again, we got 21 seconds left to go in the first half. We got trips to the bottom, one up top. CMC in the backfield with Purdy. Purdy's back to pass. Purdy throwing it over the middle. That is going to be Juwan Jennings getting it down to about their 40-yard line. Timeout with 14 seconds left to go. We're about 10 yards away from the field goal range, possibly even possibly even a touchdown. Looks like they're taking a quick 30-second commercial, but we will stay right here with this one. Like I said, we definitely need to get points right now. We have to get points considering that they are going to be starting the second half with the ball. Let's see something. Come on, boys. Come on, boys. All right, here we go. We are back on the field. Niners with 14 seconds left to go in this first half. All right, here we go. Brock is back to pass. Brock's going deep. Going deep. He's got Kittle. What are we? Oh, Kittle. They're calling it Kittle caught it down at about the 3-yard line or something like that. We've got a timeout. We've got 4 seconds left for the Niners here. Let's see. Yep, that is a catch by Kittle. The ball came out after he had control, after he was down. So that is a good one. Good call by the refs on that one. It looks a little weird. So obviously we've got to just go for the field goal. So yeah, we're going for the field goal here. That's the right call. So this will give us a lead going into halftime with this one. So we needed points on this one. All right, Matt Gay with looking to kick the field goal here. All right, the kick is up and it hit the upright and went through. Whew. Oh my dear Lord, ladies and gentlemen. Like I said, that one definitely hit the upright and bounced back through, which gives the Niners the lead 10-8 going into halftime. Oh my dear Jesus. All right. All right, so let's switch over to the halftime stuff that we've got going on here. Let's take a look at the box score. All right, total yards in this game: the Niners are at 134. Um, the the Browns are at 177. No turnovers yet. Let's see, time of possession. We've got 12-11 for the 49ers and 17-49 for the Browns. So they've had the bit longer drives and everything, but obviously that last one, getting the touchdown on that one. Let's see. Brock so far, Brock is 9 of 15 for 115 yards. Obviously, CMC 0 for 1 with the one trick play that was, you could tell from the get go, was not going anywhere. Shedeur Sanders 8 of 11 for 96 and a touchdown. Excuse me. CMC is 6 of 9, 6 rush attempts for 9 yards. Demarcus Robinson 1 of 6, and then B Robinson 3 of 4. So the run game, which we're going to be counting on, is not done much today. Receivers so far, George Kittle's got 3 for 53. Oh, you got Juice with 1 for 23, plus added about another 20 yards on top of that as he had the penalty on top of it. Then we have Ricky, who's got 2 of 14, CMC 2 of 13, and Jennings 1. This offense has been horrendous right now. We're not doing it a whole lot of anything. A lot of 3 and outs, a lot of just we're not being able to move. Again, I know we are playing a really good defense. That said, this offense is way too talented to only have 134 yards going into to halftime. We should have much more points, much more yards. We should definitely have the yeah. So we'll see. We will be right back after the halftime. Be right back, faithful. All right, we got to kick off here in the second quarter or second half. Tackle by Jared Brown at about the 32-yard line. So we have 1st and 10 coming up for the Browns on offense. Excuse me while I eat my lunch, which is going to be a little bit of leftover turkey. All right, 1st and 10 here. As usual, running the ball up the middle against the 49ers works quite well as they go up the middle for about 6 or 7 yards on the first down. So we got 2nd and 4 coming up. We only have 19 yards rushing. That is absolutely pathetic. All right, 2nd and 5 coming up. And they're going to get the ball for about 7 or so for the 1st down. Conklin, one of the best offensive linemen they got, out for the game for the concussion. All right, we have 1st and 10 for the Browns. Shedeur is back to pass and do a little screen play, and that's Keon White with the tackle. And nope, we got Jesus Christ. You got 2 guys on him, and all you did was spin around, and he got out of the tackle. Absolutely pathetic tackling again. Yeah, D. Winters come in there. Instead of wrapping up, just tries to shoulder it. Had he wrapped up, he goes down. But no, we're just going to shoulder tackle motherfuckers. All right, we got 6 and 7 here for the Browns. Tight formation with 2 up top. Going to hand the ball off. He's going to go up the middle. And we got a loss of about a yard for Keon White on the tackle. Excuse me. Nice play by Keon White, just pushing his way through. Keon White has been pretty good today, but he's also had a few of those guys with the missed tackles that I've been talking about. His name has come up in quite a few of those. So we got 3rd and 7 here for the Brownies. Let's see what we're doing here. They've got trips up top. Shedeur is back to pass. He's going to get the ball off, and he's going to go nowhere. Good coverage by Curtis Robinson there. It's one of the good things about Curtis Robinson compared to Tatum Bethune is even as good as Tatum Bethune is in stopping the run, Curtis Robinson is more close to Fred when it comes to being a coverage linebacker. Not saying he's as good as Fred, but that's more of where his specialty lies. All right, so the punt team comes on for the Browns. A good stop on the first drive by the 49ers defense. All right, and the punt is up and away. Sky Moore back there to handle it. Sky Moore is going to catch. Oh, almost touched the Niner back there, one of them. So he decided to go ahead and grab it, and we're going to be down at about the 22-yard line for the offense. All right, we'll be right back. All right, we got Pearsall in motion going from bottom to top, back to the bottom. Curdy's looking around. Just a quick dump off to Juice. Man, they almost got him on the sack with that one. Myles Garrett getting around Trent Williams. All right, we got 2nd and 6 here for the Niners. Hand off to CMC. CMC's going to go up the middle and push his way to the first down. Good for about 5 or 6 yards on that run. CMC for his longest run of the day. He's definitely not getting far when it comes to the to rushing this today. All right. One up top, 1, 2 to the bottom. Juice in motion to the backfield, toss to CMC. CMC's going to the outside, cuts it back up top, comes inside and gets about 4 on that one. So 2nd and 6 coming up for the Niners. Looks like we got one of the Browns is down on the field currently. Excuse me. All right, so it looks like it's going to be 2nd and 6 when we come back as the play. Cleveland has a player down. All right, we are back with the Niners on a 2nd and 6 here. All right, let's see what we can do here. Got 1 at the top, 1 to the bottom. Juice going way down. B. Robinson with a fake. It looks like we were trying to get off the screen to Kittle. And, of course, why is it with the screens that they're getting red left and right today? So we got 3rd and 6 coming up here for the Niners now. Come on, boys. Let's keep this drive alive. Let's keep it moving. All right, we got trips up top. Demarcus Robinson in motion to the bottom. Purdy back to pass. He's got wide open. That is Juwan Jennings with the first down. About the third time we've heard Juwan Jennings' name today, I believe. Let's see what we got here going. We got 1st and 10 for the Niners here. All right, we got 2 to the bottom, 2 in the backfield. CMC going to make it 3 to the bottom. CMC in motion. Purdy's back to pass, got a 4-man rush, and he's just going to throw it into the back of one of the defenders. And now we got a flag down. So it looks like Trent Williams was down the field a little bit when we were setting up the screen, and he released too early. Come on, guys. Yep, that's definitely on Trent. Excuse me. Man, Panthers are up ahead of the Rams right now. What is going on in that game? All right, so we've got 2nd and 15 for the Niners. Let's spread out. Juice in motion. Purdy's got the ball in shotgun. He's back to pass. He's looking. He scrambled out of the sack, and he's just going to throw it away. Whew. We got lucky on that one. So we've got 2nd and 15 coming up for the Niners, or 3rd and 15. All right, 3rd and 15 here for Brock. Back to pass. He's getting some pressure. He's going to throw it over the middle. And it is incomplete, going for Juwan Jennings on that 3rd down play, so we will be punting it here in just a second. Excuse me. And we have a Browns lineman, a defensive lineman, who is down on the field. They've had a ton of injuries today. It's Malik Collins, the former 49er. Let's see. Looks like he was tapping his knee, so maybe something's going on with his knee right now. Doesn't look like he's in too much pain. Of course, that doesn't mean anything with some of these injuries, with you tear and whatnot. But yeah, for right now, he doesn't look like, at least facial wise, doesn't look like he's in crazy pain. But we'll see what's coming up here. We got 3rd and 15 for the Niners still. All right, they're stepping aside, so we will as well. We will be right back. All right, so we had the cart come out for Malik Collins. Purdy is scrambling. He is not even going to get anywhere near. We're going to have about. There's a flag down. Let's see what we got on this. Maybe we'll get something on this one. What's the flag for? Give us something good. We had holding. So all right, that was a hold on Spencer Burford. So we're going to be punting here on 4th and 13. Yeah, come on, guys. All right, here we go. The Niners are. Ooh, I didn't switch back over to this one. I am sorry. All right, Morstead with the punt. Ooh, fumbled it for just a second, and looks like they will take the ball over right at about the 24-yard line for the Brownies. We'll be back. All right, we got 1st and 10 for the Browns. They've got 2 to the bottom. Make that 3 and 1 up top. Shador with the back. He's back. He's throwing down to the flats, and they're going to get about 8 on that one. So we got a 2nd and 2 coming up for the Browns, who've actually been pretty good on offense today. All right, here we go with the Browns. We've got them in a tight formation, but 2 up top and 1 to the bottom. So now they're spread out. 1 deep man behind the line of scrimmage. Going to hand it off, and we're going to get him tackle with a gain of about 1. So we got 3rd and 1 coming up for the Browns here. Excuse me. All right, here we go. Third and 1 for the Brownies. Let's see if the defense can make a stop here. Come on, boys. All right, they've got trips down to the bottom. Gonna hand it off, going to that bottom, and the Niners defense looks like we have stopped them again on 3rd down. So it looks like they're about a half yard short of the 1st down for this one. Looks like they're going to be keeping the offense on the field for this one. All right, let's see. We got 4th and 1 for the Browns. Let's see what we can do. Come on, boys. Let's stop them. All right. So it looks like they were going with the Wildcat. They fumbled the ball. Niners got the ball. Looks like Luke Gifford picked it up. Luke Gifford with the fumble recovery on the 26-yard line of the Browns as they fumbled it as they were rushing on the Wildcat formation guys, and looks like they just couldn't figure out what was going on. Looks like he wasn't even looking when he got the ball. Not that it matters, it was 4th down, so we were getting the ball back anyways. So the Niners take over the ball. Also, Fannin did get his hand on the ball, just a simple fumble by him. He couldn't, keep it up. And look that's the first turnover of the game, and of course, Salah is going absolutely crazy. All right, so the Niners take over 1st and 10. So we've got 7 minutes left to go in this third quarter. All right, here we go. We got trips up top with Juice. Hand off to CMC. He's going to stay right up the middle. He's going to cut back. He's going to miss a few guys. And looks like we're going to pick up about 6 or 7. So let's call it 2nd and 3rd for the Niners after the fumble on the failed Wildcat formation. Yeah, we're on the side of the field with all the wins, so it's going to be kind of ugly if we have to go for a field goal. All right, we got 2nd and 4 for the Niners to go on the, 26-yard line. Hand off to CMC. CMC's going to go down to the bottom and get about 2 yards. So we got about 3rd and 2 coming up on this next play. Come on, boys. Let's get we need a touchdown. Forget a field goal. Let's get a touchdown here. Whatever that noise is coming from Cleveland is really fucking annoying today. All right, here we go. Again, we got 3rd and 3 here. We got 2 to the bottom, and then we have Motion Jennings up top. I formation with Juice and CMC. Hand off to CMC. Goes right up the middle for the first down, plus another 2. First down, Niners. Looks like there was some movement by Juszczyk that was not called. Fuck it, I'll take it. We got the first down. All right, Niners 1st and 10 inside the red zone. Right at the 20-yard line. Pitch out to CMC. He's going to go out to the bottom and cut up for about a gain of 2. So we got 2nd and 8 coming up here for the Niners. Down underneath 5 minutes to go in the third quarter. Looks like CMC is trotting off, so we'll get some B-Rob in the game here in just a second. All right, so it's all right, here we go. 2nd and 9 here. We got trips to the bottom. George coming back. Fake the handoff. Little pitch out to CMC. CMC gets maybe a half yard on that one. All right. 3rd and 8 here coming up from the Niners. It's been a kind of a hit and miss day with Jim Schwartz because, obviously Jim Schwartz is one of those coordinators that just has Kyle's number over the years. So, so far it's been a pretty good battle. We've made some plays and this and that, but we haven't, nothing crazily explosive except for that long pass to Kittle to end the second quarter. Purdy back to pass. Purdy going down the middle to George Kittle. George Kittle is at about the 3-yard line. So we're going to have a 1st and goal inside the 1st-yard line for the 49ers coming up here. Great catch by Kittle and a great throw of Purdy off his back foot. All right, here we go. We are 1st and goal inside the 5 for the Niners at the 4-yard line. McCaffrey, a little pitch out. We got Trent in motion. He comes back in. Oh, he should have just kept following Trent to the end zone. Had he stayed outside, he just followed Trent. Trent was going to stop anybody. Trent was moving. I know he saw a little bit of light there, but come on, CMC, man. All right, right, here we go. We've got second and goal with the Niners. 2:20 to go in the third quarter. We've got 2 to the bottom, 2 up top. Birdie's in the shotgun. Why are we in the shotgun inside the 5-yard line? I do not understand. Killing motion, handoff to CMC up the middle. Gains about 2 yards, so we're going to be down to about the 3-yard or so with a third and goal. Come on, boys. Let's get it in. We're probably just going to keep going for it, so. All right, here we go. Third and goal. Like I said, we're about on the 3rd-yard line. Again, we're in spread formation. We got 2 and 2. Handoff to CMC. Nope. Brock's going to keep it. Brock's going to get in for the touchdown. Touchdown, Niners. Pushing the game to 17-8. Nice RPO by Brock and deciding to keep it and just take it in himself. Nice play. I thought that was CMC until the very last second. They bit hard on CMC because why wouldn't you? They weren't even looking. Neither of those heads were turned and looking at Brock. Both of them were inside, looking to see where CMC was. So again, a great read by CMC or by Purdy to end up keeping that one and running in himself for the touchdown. The ball is up. It is good. The score is now 17-8 for the Niners. All right, we'll be right back after the commercial break. Corley catches it and is out of bounds at the 6-yard line. I'm like, why, brother? Terrible idea. So Cleveland's going to take over again, 1st and 10 on the 6-yard line. Wow. Bad call by that one. All right, 1st and 10 for the Browns, starting on, of course, the 6-yard line. And what are we doing with the ball? I'm not sure exactly what. Just made a little bit of adjustments here. All right, so we got 128 left to go in the third quarter. All right, Shedeur Sanders under center. They got 2 to the bottom, 1 up top, a deep back in the end zone all the way. Handoff. He's going to go up to the top of the screen, and he is going to be tackled by Mustafa for for a gain of about 1. Here we go, defense. Come on, let's stop him. Stop him. Get another score, even another touchdown, or field goal. And I'm not going to say this game is over, but it'll be close to being. All right, 2nd and 10 for the Brownies. Excuse me. All right, Shedeur's back to pass. Got a pretty good pocket. He's running around a little bit, and it is thrown away as he could not find anybody open. Good coverage by the 49ers defensive backfield. All right, 3rd and 9 here for the Browns. All right, they've got trips to the bottom. We got some twists going on up front. Shedeur is running around for his life. There's a flag. He's tackled in the end zone. Throws the ball away. Is it holding in the end zone for the safety? What are we talking about here? Give us a safety. I missed the call. Huh. I don't know. Well, long story short, the Niners have held Cleveland to a 4th down. So now we are punting. They are going to be punting from inside the end zone. I'm not quite sure what was going on with that call because I'm a little confused as to what was going on with it. But anyways, Niners are getting the ball back. All right. Punt is up and away for Cleveland. It's Sky Moore back to catch it. Sky Moore catches it at the 50, gets down to about the 45. He's dropping back and finally taken down at the 48-yard line. So we have 28 seconds left to go into the third quarter. So this game is probably going to go quickly to the fourth quarter, and then we'll see what's going on afterwards. All right, Niners got 1st and 10. Looks like at the 48-yard line for the Browns. All right, we got 2 up top, 1 to the bottom, or 2 to the bottom. Ricky Pearsall in motion across the field. CMC gets the ball, gets it up the middle, gains about 4 yards. We're going to have about a 2nd and 6 to go. And looks like we will be winding this clock down to the 4th quarter. Oh, no, but they're going to try and get one more off? They're not going to. Yeah, it's just a hard count. They're trying to call them offsides real quick. And then that is it. That is the end of the 3rd quarter. They're going to flip sides here, walk about 6 feet over. And the Niners go into the 4th quarter with a 17-8 lead over the Cleveland Browns. Be right back. We are back. B. Robinson getting a carry up the middle for about 4 yards or so. So we're going to have about a third and 4 left. We're talking about the frozen equipment on the field for the guys. All right, here we go. We got 2 up top, 1 to the bottom for the Niners. Kittle in motion. Kittle is, oh no, Purdy's going to be sacked. That is Myles Garrett finally getting to him. And the first, number 18 on the year, first of the game. It's going to drop the 49ers back to behind the 50-yard line, and we are definitely punting it. Come on, we knew Garrett was going to get at least 1 today. Let's be honest. I mean, no one should be surprised with that. The fact that it took until the 4th quarter, okay, that's a little surprising. All right, here comes the punt from Morstead. Oh, it is fumbled by the Browns at the 15-yard line. Darrell Luter coming up with the fumble recovery after the fumble on the punt by the Browns. So yeah, we're going to be on the 17-yard line of Cleveland after this one. Huge turnover on the. It's been years since we've said that the 49ers special teams has won us a game. This is going to be one of those games where the special teams is winning us a game. Yeah, back-to-back horrible special teams plays by the Brownies. All right, so the Niners offense is right back on the field, hoping to extend the lead right now. 13:27 left to go in the fourth quarter, 17-8. First and 10. All right, we got one at the bottom, one up top. Farrell in motion. Fake the handoff to CMC's. Brock is scrambling around. He's looking. That's just going to be thrown away by Brock on the first down. So we'll have second and 10 coming up here in just a second for the Niners. All right, here we go. We've got second and 10 coming up for the 49ers. All right, we got trips up top, one to the bottom, CMC deep in the backfield behind, and he's the one that's going to get the ball. He's going to get the corner. He's going to break the tackle and get it up there. He's got about 5 on that one, so we're going to get about 3rd and 5 after CMC breaking all sorts of tackles. All right, here we go. We got 3rd and 5 for the Niners. Jennings in motion. We're still going to have trips up top. CMC in the shotgun, and it looks like we are calling a timeout as we could not get that ball off in time. All right, here we go for the Niners. We got 3rd and 5 on the 14-yard line. We got 2 up top. Kittle and going in motion, making it 3. Brock back to pass. He's got some dump off to CMC with the screen. We got some good blocks up front. CMC getting down to about the 5-yard line. So we got about 1st and goal from about the 5-yard line. Okay, we got a Shelby Harris down for the Cleveland Browns. All right, here we go. 1st and goal for the Niners. What is Kyle going to dial up now? Oh, nope, we're going to commercial. And it looks like Kyle Juszczyk is headed to the locker room right now. Nothing on him, but we'll be right back. Let's see if I can find anything on Twitter. All right, here we go. Niners with the first and goal at the 5-yard line. Let's see what we can do here. Hand off to CMC, and CMC is going to get caught behind the line of scrimmage. Lost for about 2, so we're going to about 2nd and 3 coming up. As far as Juszczyk going to the locker room, it seems that he's got a rib injury. Also, Ben Barch is out for the game with a foot injury.
TikTok just got
the big Purdy touchdown, San Francisco. What deception! 2-yard touchdown run, Brock Purdy.
All right, here we go. We got Brock back in the pass on the second down. Brock's running around. Probably going to have to just throw this away because I don't see him getting anywhere with it. Purdy is really running around and finally decides to just throw it around or just throw it away. Sorry, I'm trying to download something and see if I can find out how to edit something here. Nope, never mind. Sorry, they showed Brock Purdy doing the Dougie after his touchdown. I was like, oh, I got to see this. Yeah, you can't say shit about Brock's toe. It's definitely not hurting with the amount of running he's had to do today. All right, here we go. We got 3rd and goal here from the ball. Looks like about the 7-yard line. Brock is back to pass. Brock's going over the middle, and that is a touchdown to Juwan Jennings. And the Niners are going to be going for 2 on this one to extend it to 25-8 as the Browns went for 2 earlier and got it. All right, the 49ers are going for 2. Extend the lead. Brock is back to pass. He's going to try and throw it, and he does not get it to Jennings in the corner of the end zone. So it's still technically a two-possession game with 11:05 left to go in the fourth quarter. The Niners are winning 23-8 after the special teams Daryl Luter catching the fumble. We will be right back. All right, we are back with the Niners kicking off to the Browns. Ball is picked up at the 8-yard line. Get out about to the 30. It gets to about the 33-yard line. So let's look at this. We've got 11 minutes left to go in the fourth quarters. The Niners are winning 23-8. So we've got a 2-touchdown game, and we got first and 10 to go for Sanders and the Browns offense. What is going on with the Panthers beating up on the Rams right now? What the hell? We're having a shootout with the Panthers and Rams. I don't think I would have said that about the Panthers in any sort of way. All right, here we go with the Browns. They've got one up top. That's it. They got tight formation, a couple of tight ends. Shadura under center. Do a little quick pitch out. He's going to go try and get to the edge. He's going to get the edge and get to about 7 on that pitch out. So we'll call it 2nd and 4 to go for the Browns. Oh, they're saying it's 6. I thought it was 7. Please excuse me. All right, here we go. 2nd and 4 for the Browns. And hand the ball off, come to the bottom. He's going to try and get the edge. Upton Stout with the quick tackle on him about a yard short. So we'll call it 3rd and 1. So we're coming up about 10 minutes left to go in the fourth quarter of this game. All right, we got trips up top for the Browns. And then we're just going to hand it off, going up the middle, and we can't tackle anybody. We've got a big play by Judkins going up the middle for about 20 yards or so on the Niners on that play. 17 yards on that one, actually. But again, We can't tackle. We do not tackle at times on this team. I have no idea why. Demo, dive at him. It's an arm tackle by Curtis Robinson. For one, I'm going to say this, Jair Brown, good job on the tackle. All right, they're looking for the screen for the Browns. Shador is running around. He's running around, and he's just going to slide to the ground. Oh, come on. Oh. They're going to give him roughing the passer that bullshit for a defenseless thing as he slid at the last second. I fucking hate that call. So Dylan Gabriel is now looks like, because Shador is down. Oh, holding on offense. I thought they were going to hold that, sliding hit defenseless quarterback. But, okay, so Shador's up and walking. He's limping off the field. Maybe the right ankle, right knee, maybe. So we got Dylan Gabriel coming in cold for the Browns. I expected him to call a late hit on there, considering that he slid literally in the face of Kalia Davis, who was already headed towards the ground. All right, here we go with Dylan Gabriel over here coming in for Shador Sanders, who's on the sideline. They've got two to the bottom. All right, I'm going to fake the handoff. Shador, he's running around, and he's going to get stuck. So they're 3rd and 16 coming up after a gain of about 4 after the penalty. Or excuse me, 2nd. I'm sorry. And Shador Sanders is back in the game. So we got 3rd and 16 coming up here for the Brownies. All right, here we go. We got 2 up top, and then we got 2 tight ends. Never mind. Harold Fanning's going up top to make trips. Shador Sanders back to pass, fakes the handoff. He's going to throw it up over the middle, and it's going to be a nice tackle by D. Winters of a gain of about 5 or so. So maybe 4th and 11? 4th and 16? Or 3rd and 16, I'm sorry. I can see the Browns going for this. They kind of need 2 scores, and we're already down to about under 8 minutes to go. All right, back to go. We're splitting. Shador's got a pretty good pocket. He's scrambling. He's looking deep. Throws quite the air ball, and it almost got caught. He threw an absolute duck, and somehow it got out there. I have no idea how it got down there. So it's 4th and 16 for Cleveland. And again, they need to go for it. Being down 2 scores with this game, the way this game, their offense is not moving the ball at all. They need to take every chance they can get. He's open. All right, here we go. 4th and 16. And we got a timeout called. And it's a 30-second timeout is called by the 49ers. Will this be the first time since 1984 that the Niners get a win getting a win in Cleveland? Nice for these guys to shout out Greg Papa, who is still out. Obviously, the voice of the 49ers, still out talking about cancer. Shador Sanders is back to throw on the 4th and 16, and he is sacked. Keon White with the sack. Niners take over on downs. So they got the ball back with 7:24, leading 23-8 in the fourth quarter, and looking to probably put this game away with a decent drive here. Good loop by the defensive lineman, those guys. It's good to see Robert Saleh all fired up for this. He is making a 9-course meal out of McDonald's. All right, 1st and 10. The Niners hand off to CMC. Goes up the middle. Gains about 3 on that one. Come on, boys. Let's put the women and children to bed and go looking for fucking dinner. All right, we got 2nd and 8 coming up here for the Niners. We are under 7 minutes left to go in this game. Trips to the bottom. Never mind. CMC. Jennings going up top, and now he's coming back down for the trips. We're changing the play. A handoff to CMC. Ooh, CMC almost got caught in the backfield. Makes it to the line of scrimmage. Gains about 2. So we've got 3rd and 6 coming up here for the Niners. Come on, boys. Let's win this. Looks like we got a flag on the 49ers here, so got a false start, so it's going to be 3rd and 11 coming up here. Giant Williams with a false start. I got to say, with Shadur Sanders, Myles Garrett only getting the 1 sack so far. Pretty impressed with how this line has handled him. Haven't heard his name that much. All right, here we go. We got 3rd and 11 for the Niners coming up. Let's see. We got 2 to the bottom. Brock back to pass. Looking, scrambling out a little bit, going across over the middle. Who is that? That is Jawan. 3rd and 1. Coming up big to keep this drive going. To put this away. And now we are under 6 minutes to go with the Niners still leading 23-8. 2-score game. Good play by everybody on that one. All right, 1st and 10 for the Niners. We got 2 to the bottom, 1 up top. We're going to make that 3 to the bottom. Hand off to CMC going straight up the middle. Getting about 7 on that one. So we got 2nd and 3 coming up for the Niners. Just grinding it out here. We are unofficially under 5 minutes to go in this game. Ugh. All right, 4:45 to go. 2nd and 3 for the Niners to go. Got 2 to the bottom, 1 up top. B. Robinson in the game for CMC. We're going to give it to B. Robinson. He's going to cut up the middle and get the 1st down on that one, down to about the 14-yard line. So 1st and 10 to go for the Niners in the red zone. Browns with the timeout. Hopefully they can save something on here is what they're looking for. All right, here we go. 1st and 10 for the Niners. Hand off to B. Robinson going up the middle. Gets stuck there. Gets about a yard. So we'll have 2nd and 9 coming up for the Niners. The Browns with them taking another timeout here. They're just trying to save timeouts to get something left once they get the ball back on offense. Wonder what kind of shit the Cone Crunt crew is going to be talking about Brock in this game. All right, handoff, fake the handoff to Purdy. Purdy throws, is throwing it away. So we're going to bring 3rd and 9 coming up. Because let's see, be honest with Brock right now is 16 of 28, 168 yards and 1 touchdown. I mean, it's okay. It's not great, but we know the Cone Cunt crew and their bullshit with, especially what's his name? What fucking Jess or whatever his name is. We know how much he absolutely hates on everything. Purdy could go 40 for 40, 400 yards and 5 touchdowns, and the media's still bitch and moan about him. Like I said, they're just for clickbait shit. And honestly, if given the chance to work with him and I can make, quit my job and just do that, I'd say no. All right, we got trips to the bottom. Purdy's in the shotgun. Purdy, decking out of almost an absolute sack right there. Throwing deep in the end zone. And Ricky does not come in with it, so it looks like the Niners will be going for the field goal here. And they're not there with the wind rather than against it, so it should be a little bit easier of a field goal from this side of the field. All right, Matt Gay with a field goal. It is up, and it is good. The Niners, with 4:09 left in the fourth quarter, have now made this a 3-score game by going up 26-8. We will be right back after the commercial, all right, ladies and gentlemen. Well, apparently I was wrong. We did not go to commercial break like I thought we did. Ooh, why are we not sharing? All right, let's do this again. There we go. All right, so we got 1st and 10 for the Browns. Let's see what they can do. They're going to obviously they're going to be passing, going to a quick offense, all that kind of good stuff. So we got 1st and 10 for the Browns. We got trips to the bottom. Nope. Now we got 2-2. Shador is back to throw. He's going to set a little screen up. Alfred Collins out there. Alfred Collins misses the tackle. He had him and didn't let him go. Still only got about 4 yards on that one. So we'll call it 2nd and 5 coming up. All right, here we go. We had 2nd and 5 for them. They are going to get it. Harold Fannin with the first down. Down to about the 28-yard line of the Niners. Of course, we're in prevent. I fucking hate prevent defense in every sort of way. Shador Sanders throwing the ball. Getting the ball. Shador Sanders back to pass, throwing it out there. Ooh, dropped on the 1st and 10. All right, we got Shador. We got trips to the bottom and then 2 up top for them. Shador's back to pass. Shador, we got people chasing him. He's going to get sacked. Cleveland Farrell with his 2nd sack of the day. Why did we let this man go a couple years ago? Every time he's on this team, he makes good plays for us. And now we are going to commercial break for the 2-minute warning. Be right back. All right, we are back at the 2-minute warning with the Cleveland Browns driving. We have 3rd and 21. They have got trips up top and a false start, so we're going to push them back just a wee bit more to 3rd and 26. Wow, that stadium emptied out really quickly. The Rams losing to Carolina. What in the blue hell? All right, Shedeur Sanders, and then they've got 3rd and 26 with trips up top. Shedeur back to pass, almost gets sacked by Farrell again. He's being chased out of the pocket, and he's just going to throw it away. Good coverage by the defensive backfield on that side. So we got 4th and 26 coming up for them, which obviously they're going to go for it. You got nothing to lose. You're down by 3 scores at the minute 51. All right, 4th and 26 for the Browns. Shadeur's back to pass. Probably just going to go for something long here. He's dancing. He's going to try and run it. Just slide it, brother. Yep. Don't do anything stupid and get yourself hurt on that one, man. And that'll be the Niners taking this win. All right, here we go with the Niners lining up 1st and 10 to go. Birdie handing off to Brian Robinson, who's going to push it forward for about 4 or 5 yards. So we'll have a 2nd and 5 here in just a second. We have 1 timeout left, or the Browns taking a timeout, leaving them with 1 more to go. I mean, at this point, I'm not understanding what exactly we're taking timeouts for. I mean, just let us get out of here. Robinson running up the middle again for getting it close to the 1st down. So we're looking at 3rd and 1 here, and Cleveland taking their last time out. All right, 3rd and 1 here for the Niners. And that is it. Niners securing the win. All right, here comes the Niners now taking the knee here. Matt Jones take the knee. The Niners go to 9-3 with a win over the Cleveland Browns, 26-8, for the first time winning in Cleveland since 1984. What a game, everybody! Thank you for joining us for the for my watch along here, and we will see you guys next time in a couple weeks, actually, because we're going to bye week.